I was born and raised in North Philadelphia, essentially about 20 blocks north of where the Franklin Institute sits right now. So you can imagine for a kid who grew up in the inner city, in a narrow row house environment with ambient light all around, to go in the planetarium and actually see what the stars look like, to have a sense of the celestial spectrum was really, for me, just an amazing thing.
One of 8 siblings raised by a single father on a janitor's salary, Ken Frazier woke up early each morning to catch a bus to school across town. At Masterman, talented inner-city kids like Frazier could access high-quality education. The school couldn't keep up with him. Frazier managed to graduate 2 years early, sights set on a military career.
I thought I was off to West Point my senior year in high school. I remember the commandant wrote a letter and it said, "Dear Mr. Frazier, upon reviewing your record closely, we've discovered that you are 15 years old."
So in 1969, Frazier was off to college at just 16. First to study chemistry at Penn State, where he sold tadpoles and newts to local aquarium stores for spending money. And after that, Harvard Law School.
The 3 years I spent at Harvard were formative years. And I came back to Philadelphia to practice in a large Philadelphia law firm, which was only maybe about 20 blocks from where I grew up, but was really a completely different world. I was a stranger in a strange land coming back to my hometown and practicing law.
While doing casework for global corporations, Frazier donated time to the fight against injustice. Once taking up the case of Bo Cochran, a death row inmate wrongly accused of murder. Just 13 days before the scheduled execution, Frazier intervened, proving Cochran's innocence and saving his life. In the 1990s, Frazier accepted an invitation to join Merck Pharmaceuticals, and by 2011, Frazier had risen to become CEO of one of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies. As CEO, Frazier doubled down on science and the prospect of long-term gain, both for Merck and patients worldwide. Under Frazier, discoveries nurtured and refined by years of scientific rigor began to come to light.
But at the end of the day, when you are able to come through it with that breakthrough, those things really do change the world. And I have seen examples of where people who are suffering, who would not live a long life, are now able to live.
Now retired from Merck, Frazier spends his time giving back, working with the organization he co-founded, 110, to help close the opportunity gap for Black Americans entering the workforce.
76% of African Americans at age 30 do not have a 4-year college degree. Those people have the drive, they have the desire, they have the skills to work, they just don't have the opportunities. I think what comes across to me more than any particular success I've had is the fact that I feel I was a special recipient of opportunities that other people didn't have. For me, that's what sort of sticks with me and makes me feel obligated as I go forward to ensure that other people have those opportunities. Don't let me forget to say, and I have another connection to the Franklin Institute. I met my wife at the Franklin Institute back in 1985 in that grand rotunda downstairs. I was here for a legal event that evening, and I was walking out and I met my wife on the stairs and turned around and got to know her, and now it's almost 40 years later. So the Franklin Institute also has a really important role in my life.